You guys, this is awesome. We are back and we have Greg, who is the Chamber of Commerce President of Scandinavia and Iola. And that's awesome. It's so great to have you here.
That's wonderful that you could show up here, and what a beautiful weekend we're going to have. It's awesome.
Oh, it's already beautiful. I
Yes.
mean, just day one has been incredible. I'm really excited for you to walk me through the hallway of history. Iola Car Show recently bought this building and renovated it for their offices, and it's just awesome the way they've done it. And this hallway is really special. Okay, tell us about this one.
Here's the first poster that we have from 1975, and this is when the car show was still held down at the place where it started at Taylor Field and Ingville Olsen Memorial Park on Lake Iola. And then you can see as we go along, it's the typefaces get a little bit different. The information on it gets a little bit different. Here we are in 1979.
Yeah, that's 9 up there.
This is 79, and I wasn't at that show.
You started really early, okay.
My very first show that I went to was 1982. And all these posters from this point on for a ways, I knew the graphic designer who did them all. But as you can see, we added a lot more information with the posters, and it started to grow. I think at this time it was about 30,000 people that showed up.
Wow. So how early did the swap meet start? Was it initially a swap meet? I don't see any swap meet details here. There was live
really
music.
Didn't start until they moved it up to this was the Krause Publications new building, and when they moved it up to here, that's when they started the flea market aspect of it. And that's really taken off. I mean, at one point when I started in '82, we were marking the spots, and we went from 600 to 900 spots, and we thought, wow, that's huge. That's a big jump.
And it was.
And it was at the time, but it was kind of peanuts because now it's over 4,000 spots. So that's amazing how it's growing. So what else do we have here? I know at one point, I can't remember which year it was, but we started the Car Corral, which has become a very popular place, because that's where people sell their cars. You can't have a show car in the car show grounds with a for sale sign on. We only allow those in the Car Corral. The first year we had the Car Corral, I remember we had 17 cars. And we're going like, well, what's this? Second year we went to 35. The third year we were reselling spaces. There were so many people. Would somebody please sell a car, because we got like 20 more that want to come in here. So that has really taken off. So there's really a whole nother aspect of the car show that grew out of that. What else do we have?
You know, one of the elements that I love about this show is you not only show current cars that are built that people love, but you're supporting building more with the swap meet aspect, and then also the sales point where someone, if they want to go buy a car that's ready to drive home, they can go do that. So you can build one from scratch in the swap meet, you can get inspired by walking the car show, or you can go buy one in the Car Corral.
That's correct. I mean, there's a lot of people that just don't have the technical capabilities of building a car, and what the heck? Yeah. It's actually in some ways cheaper just to buy it.
Absolutely.
Already restored.
There's so many of us that want to make things our own and
Yes.
spend a bunch of time and effort, and that's a beautiful thing. But then it's also a beautiful thing to go buy something that someone's already put all that time and effort into, and you honor it and you keep that passion going. I love it.
Right. I remember one year when I was helping with the swap meet, and we were down at the main gate for the swap meet, and it was the show was just exploding. And it was a Sunday afternoon, about 1 o'clock, and the swap meet gates are closed because we don't want cars going through the crowded swap meet. All of a sudden, this tour bus pulls in. The driver thought that they could just drive through the swap meet with this great big tour bus. It was just hilarious. So there's little stories like that all along. I'd like to talk a little bit about the founder, co-founder, Chet Krause. He's an amazing man, and actually his anniversary was passing just was just a couple weeks ago. But I remember one time I was driving him around on a golf cart, and we were going to somewhere else on the grounds, and he said, "Greg, stop." So he stopped, and he went over to a bank of sinks that had paper towels that were thrown on the ground by people. He went over there and he picked those up himself. And I thought, my God, who does that?
Yes.
You know, here's the guy who started this thing. He's a multimillionaire. He's picking up paper towels off the ground. So just interesting little stories like that all the time.
His heart was so in it.
His heart was very into. He loved old cars. At one point he had over 50 cars, and then he got into military vehicles. Also, at one point he owned every single Army Jeep that was ever made for the Army. I mean, every style, every year, and it was amazing. And he bought them within 1 year.
Just amazing collector.
Amazing collector.
Amazing
definitely.
dude.
And he's the guy who, he started this whole thing, he and his partner, Cliff Mishler. Let's see, what else do we have here that's kind of interesting? We've got, some of these pictures were taken locally. Like this is a gas station over in Nelsonville, Wisconsin, just about 7-8 miles away. And this is actually what is now the toy barn on the south end of the swap meet area.
Okay, so
And
this is now Iola property.
This is Iola Car Show property.
That's so cool. And was it in '94?
Actually, Krause Publications owned it. They
Okay.
also own this house, which was next to the barn.
No way.
This is the Thorson
Same
house.
property.
Yeah, so the same property, but the
That-
house is privately owned now, but the barn is where the people that sell toy cars and stuff are in that barn.
That's
So
awesome.
That's kind of neat that we used some local things. See whichever ones are local. Not really too sure where the other ones were locally. Well, of course, the car show tower. That's an interesting thing.
yes.
The tower has been around for 40-some years. And originally, it was used by the police to monitor the traffic on Highway 161 coming into town and Highway 49. And then eventually, over time, the car show has really perfected how to get people into the various aspects of the show without creating huge, long traffic jams. So it's a lot smoother now. So now the tower is just used as obviously the information area and as a focal point. It's like, go to the tower. If you don't know something, if you lose your kids, go to the tower. So it's also the logo of the car show. So it's a very important aspect of the show.
Well, we had a beautiful moment earlier during the national anthem. We were up here, and the national anthem played, and it was so beautiful to be up there and look down at the flag, and your eyes are set on the flag, but it's also so beautiful and mesmerizing to see all these people just at a standstill with their hand over their heart, and everybody together in that. It was just, it gives me chills because it was really special. So now I have a memory
Now you
there.
have a memory there.
Yes.
I've been to the top of it a couple of times. Every spring, Chet Krause would take new employees, if they wanted to, up the tower. So I went up there a couple times, and it's not as easy as it looks. Like it's not that tall, but the angle irons on it are really hurt your hands.
I bet. It's way up there.
It is up
Well,
there.
I really appreciate this, Greg. This has been
You bet,
awesome.
Emily. All right.
Thank you so
You
much.
bet,
I hope
yeah.
you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. That was so special.